Pathological giving. I have a lifelong habit, and it's fucking sad, y'all. I can't believe I spent my whole life being this way. Not only that, I never even really noticed. I had been so used to being this way, I didn't know how not to be this way. It just faded into the background. Everybody knows I overshare, overgive. It's the most obvious truth that I was utterly oblivious to. When I was a boy, my father only spent time with me if I did what he wanted. He never took a genuine interest in me but for a few fleeting moments. And being a child, I was so desperate to get his attention. I made up my mind that if I had to get his attention by doing whatever he wanted, then so be it. The problem is, this is a terrible way to live your life. People pick up on this vibe very quickly. It speaks volumes about what kind of person I was, a mark. There is a certain kind of person who lusts after a person like me. This type of person desperately craves control. They want more than they will ever give. So I was set up to be exploited in my personal and professional relationships. I married a woman who fully expected me to bend backward for her. Yet she felt perfectly justified in never reciprocating that. She didn't even know where to start. She was so profoundly used to overtaking. Once I set that precedent, where people knew they could exist in my life for free, they knew I had no expectations from them. That created a lifelong pattern of being in one-sided relationships. So exhausting. These days, I watch this particular pattern like a hawk. I've refused to add new contacts to my phone until I've seen ample proof that someone deserves to be in my life. It's a simple failsafe. Last night, I texted this girl I like. I told myself I wouldn't text her until she initiated the conversation to see proof that she was invested in me, but I couldn't resist. I only texted her once, but deleted her number because I couldn't resist. I could only keep this interaction going if she demonstrated that she wanted to talk to me. I find this particular habit to be so sad, yet revealing. Me that I decided to do anything for some love and attention when I was little. Whatever you want, I'll give because I have no value whatsoever. Make no mistake. This is an addiction or a compulsion at the very least. I like to be giving. And technically, there isn't anything wrong with that. The only problem is, I discovered that I was projecting my expectations onto other people. Some people don't feel obligated to reciprocate when they know they can have your time and energy for free. From my point of view, the whole idea is, I'll be nice to you, and you'll be nice to me. But some people can't tell the difference between kindness and weakness. Sometimes, kindness is viewed as a weakness to be exploited. Remember, This is a fact that the offender will never admit outright. If they're nefarious enough to exploit your weaknesses, they already know their actions are wrong. You're preaching science to a creationist. They're not going to hear you. I've conducted thousands of Zoom calls, worked with different types of people, and become extremely good at influencing them. See what I mean? That's no small feat. I have to empathize with that person deeply. And I have to be a certain kind of professional for them. I think back to all of the psych books I've read. I gave myself a completely tailored education. Not a single lesson was wasted. What you can achieve by staying the course with one craft is incredible. Continually improving over time. It's in my bones, in my very DNA. For whatever reason, my career led me to develop a unique skill set. Those skills helped me overcome this lifelong habit, which is incredible. It's like voodoo. When I was a pathological giver, people took and took and took. They demanded and commanded me. This new girl I'm dating, I told her I have a friends first policy. I could see in her eyes that she liked the sound of that. I'm guarding my inner sanctum. I'm not trying to hawk it on the streets. I'm not treating myself like I'm worthless. I told a female friend about my policy, and she was like, hell yeah. She said she'd be far more interested in a guy who took things slowly like that. My therapist has been trying to impress upon me that I need to make people earn every single inch that I give them. For a person like me, who has relied on being overly generous to people who don't deserve it, it's hard. It's like learning to write with your other hand. Hard. This pattern is deeply ingrained from decades of practice. It's like voodoo. The minute I stopped chasing people, the perfect people immediately started knocking on my door. It's great. I'm aligned with people who can see my value for the first time. The other day, a new friend told me I had a beautiful personality. I thought about it and was delighted he could see what I knew was there. But then I tried to think of everyone in my family. Not one person has ever acknowledged this undeniable truth. Ain't that a bitch? How can the people who allege they love me not see my most brilliant quality? Something's wrong with that. Do you mean I lived a whole lifetime and nobody in my family ever told me I had a beautiful personality? If it's evident to strangers, why not family? What's up with that? Well, I'm discovering that I'm complicit in this problem. I am starting to understand that I am, or was, attracted to people who cannot see me and do not value me. If you valued me, I wasn't interested. But the people who withhold their approval? Well, everybody knows I like a challenge. Certain people thrive on taking advantage of others and can spot overgivers from a mile away. Meanwhile, those same overgivers are oblivious that they have a big fat target on their back. It's always a bummer to identify new one-sided connections that I didn't realize were one-sided. I have a family member who asked me to buy him some weed. It's not the most enormous ask, I agree. Later that day, I'm starving. I see a roadie in the fridge, and I'm busy. I don't want to cook food. I asked them for it, knowing I did them a sizable favor, and he said no. That told me what I needed to know, instantly revoking errand boy privileges. This is a one-sided dynamic. When I gave up without getting back, I was stuck in a very unhealthy pattern. It's easy to reinforce the idea that I can't meet my needs because I'm unworthy, not because I overinvested in the wrong person. Some people are unable to understand reciprocity. It's just not in their makeup. They see an opportunity to take advantage, and they do. But this kind of realization has taken me years. Years. You don't wake up one day and say, oh, I see what's wrong. Let me fix it. You have to keep experiencing the same pain over and over before you finally get the message. That's how it was for me. Even now, I still catch myself in moments of self-abandonment. But the key difference is that I see myself. I have enough awareness to recognize when I fall into the old patterns. It's like rewiring your brain. It's not going to happen overnight. But when you start setting boundaries and putting yourself first, the results are immediate.